Hello there, and welcome back to The Disconnected, here with Aaron West and Jill from CineJourneys, and the one thing you may know them more from, the Criterion Now podcast. Welcome, guys. Thanks for doing this.
Oh,
good to see you, Ryan.
Us.
This has been, I feel like, a very long time in the works, and by this, I mean the website launching, of course, but also to have both of you on here. I'm stoked to be able to talk to you finally.
Yeah, we're it's been a wild few months, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, the biggest question that we got was, why is the website taking so long, and when is it launching? Because we want it right away. And when it launched, people understood. It was we think it's pretty special, and we've been having a lot of fun with it. And we just saw it's only been 9 days, Jill. So can you believe that?
It feels like 30 years. The last 9 days. It's been so much work to get up to this point, and it wasn't just like making the site look pretty or aesthetically pleasing. It's about everything we have kind of brewing in the background, and that takes, it took a lot of time. And we're still making little changes here and there, but man, it's a slick site. We love it.
It's so much better than we had even conceived, and we're so proud of it. And yeah, you haven't seen the back end, but it is very, very powerful. And the things we're adding to it, I think we'll probably have them done from, within the next 2 to 4 weeks or so. We already have a social network on there, so yeah, you can go there and share stuff with your buddies, your film buddies, and we have some community things coming that we'll announce here in the next couple of weeks. But we also have we have an account section, and then we're going to have a supercharged social media that's just for cinephiles, and it's developed specifically for cinephiles. So if you don't love Facebook or pick your social media platform of choice, and you want to only see movies, that's what we made.
We
Right.
will dive into all of these decisions and what we can get out of the website, of course, in a little bit. But for those that may know Criterion Now the best, I would love to spend a moment on this because
Sure.
This is a podcast that's been gone, that a lot of people have missed. And for a lot of people, this was like one of the more important I'll say go-to podcast, especially in the early pandemic for a lot of people. Could you share some of the story behind Criterion Now and what's been going on with it?
Yeah, I guess I should start with that, Jill. But
you should.
So yeah, I should. So I actually started it. Boy, I think it was about 7-8 years ago, like thereabouts. I want to say 2017. I think it was 2017. So it's been a good minute. And at first I had another podcast called Criterion Close Up that did well. And that was co-hosted with my good friend, Mark Herney, who also was a regular, guest on Criterion Now. But just, things happen, family life happens. So he wasn't as available. So I kind of conceived a show about just, hey, how novel it would be to just talk about whatever is happening in the Criterion sphere. Especially in the beginning. Actually, in the beginning, it was kind of silly. I listened to some of those old episodes. I don't know if I'm going to recommend that, but I think we found our stride. And we had a lot of we had a game where we played where we had a samurai off, like 7 Samurai versus Harakiri, and then I had a sound effect. It's embarrassing. Don't go listen to that. But we always tried to have fun, tried to stay current, and Criterion has always given us fodder material to talk about, great releases. And Jill Blake,
that's me.
That's you. So you joined 2020-ish as a full partner, but you had appeared on the show a couple times, and I don't want to get in front of your experience, but some of those were unpleasant times because you worked for Filmstruck.
Yeah.
And in fact, I listened to that episode. Ooh, don't listen to it.
I can't go back to that. It was just, oh man, it was so painful.
It's the darkest timeline Criterion
It
Now
was
episode.
the darkest timeline until 2020, and then it got really, really dark, and like everything else was put into perspective. And I was like, I don't care about this anymore. Yeah, it was. So yeah, Aaron had me on the show, and I think the first episode was basically me just bitching about, whoever was in charge of Warner at the time. John Stakey, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just like, pounding my fist. I was so mad. It was not my best moment, I don't think. But no one can accuse me of not being passionate about what I love. So, and also being passionate about a paycheck. That really sucks. To lose the paycheck.
Yeah. Shouldn't laugh at that one, but yeah, that hit.
I don't know. It's funny now. I don't care anymore. I'm laughing about it. Who needs money? But yeah, so I came on. I feel like I came on 3 or 4 times. I don't know. It was a lot. And then Aaron went on kind of a hiatus, I think. And then,
actually, before we get to that,
sorry.
There was one time I had you on, and we were going to talk about Criterion announcements, and we never know what they are in advance. I mean, sometimes we have some vague ideas from leaks, what have you. But there was one time Jill was scheduled to be on the show, and announcements came, and she had not seen one of them, and I was like, oh man, what have I gotten myself into? I didn't tell you that, Jill. So we.
This is when I find this out. It's great.
We did the show, and Jill was amazing, and I think we've always had a rapport, and I think we were instant friends, and very, very close friends still. Obviously, we're business partners and friends.
I can't stand him. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I have my quirks. I won't deny that, but yeah, I invited, and the thing is, it had been my baby and my show, but I just really admired you and what you brought and what you. Yeah, I didn't mean. I'm not trying to get Kumbaya going, but it was a perfect fit. So we made it a 50-50 split. Now we did have to take a little bit of a break during the pandemic. I mean, I think we all experienced an increase in workload. I had a day job. Had some health issues, so we tried to work through those as much as we could. I did recover from those health issues, which is great, because we then, through that, started CineJourneys, which was our side project, and we put the Criterion Now podcast on hiatus. It was really tough to do because we love Criterions, and we have a great audience. We even have a Facebook group that we've had things enter into the film world, like more Criterion, more movie go Criterion. Thank you. Have you heard that, Ryan?
I think I have.
Yeah. So Aaron, I was going to jump in and just say that the other thing that when Aaron brought me on to co-host Criterion Now, I also have, I'm obviously a movie person, and we also know that we have a lot of people that listen who are collectors. And so I made it like my personal mission to encourage the people who are collecting to watch the movies they're collecting. Mm-hmm. And that was also like, for me too, like, hey, these mean nothing if we're not enjoying them with, ourselves and with each other. And like, let's remember why we're doing this. Let's remember why we're supporting these labels. And then we kind of realized that we love Criterion. They're the gold standard for, I think they do it better than probably anyone else in terms of the entire package of supplements, of the appearance, of the curation, all of that. And even when there are criticisms, and there have been many valid criticisms of Criterion, they're really good about listening to people. So, I think about the New York Times article that was written about, how white the collection was, and how, what did they do? Well, they hired Ashley Clark. They actually listened, and they said, okay. And it took them a minute, because obviously they can't just churn them out. They got to go get the rights, and they got to do it. They've actually made, Peter Becker listened, and they made a concerted effort. Is it perfect? No, but it's a hell of a lot better than it was before. But, So knowing that this is the gold standard label, but we also realized, and especially during the pandemic, and there was so much, I think, with the closure of Filmstruck, and then like just seeing all of the, and like Warner Archive having, you know, what was going on there. And I had really good friends at Warner, Matt Patterson and Dan Ferranti, that, you know, were let go. And, you know, seeing what was happening to these other labels, I said to Aaron, I said, we have a platform here. We need to also highlight, and we don't have to get way into the weeds on this, but hey, let's pick, you know, let's pick a release or two from these other labels, and give them some love, you know. And Twilight Time closed. It was just and
R.I.P. Like, Nick Redman.
Nick Redman, God bless him. And so that kind of happened. And so we kind of like expanded Criterion Now in a way. And then kind of in this process, Aaron and I realized, as we realized we have this great rapport and people are telling us, hey, we love listening to you, you know, you two together. And then Aaron and I are like, God, what if we, like, I think it started out as like, what if we just started a podcast about Atlanta Braves baseball? And
it was.
And we were just like, hey, could we do a Criterion Now on Braves baseball? How many subscribers would we lose? And so we were like trying to come up with all these like excuses basically to spend time with each other talking about stuff we love. And then I remember getting I think it was like an email from Aaron, and it was basically like this amazing. It was a business plan that was like part brilliance, part unhinged, which is the best kind of business plan.
Sounds like Aaron.
And it was beautiful. I mean, it was totally. It was like and it was
what was
titled.
It called?
It was called Aaron and Jill Film Shits.
You were burying the lead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. And it was basically this like fever dream of an idea that actually I'm reading it, and it was kind of, you know, it was like, this is what we love.
Yeah.
This is what we want to do.
This is what I was sick. Yeah.
But it wasn't even about that. It's when you're spitballing and you're throwing everything out there, but it was actually super. Like, it was a business plan, and I'm reading it and I'm going, wait a minute, this has legs. So that's kind of where, and at this point, Aaron, we were kind of like, I don't know, we were kind of, to get to your original question, Ryan, oh my God, it's been 74 minutes. I think we just kind of fell out of love with the routine of doing that show. It wasn't
a little bit, yeah.
It wasn't really scratching that creative itch anymore. Right. But now that we've started this other thing, we kind of want to get back to it, you know? So it's, is that fair to say, Aaron? I think so. I mean,
yeah. And also,
you kind of get in a rut, you know, you get in a rut on it, you know, and you just like, what am I doing? You know, and we wanted to pursue something else. And then we did. And I think we're both very fulfilled creatively right now. And we have more ideas than we can keep up with. And then we were like, you know what we miss? We miss Criterion Now.
Well, I wouldn't say we ever fell out of love with Criterion.
That was probably unfair, but.
And Ryan, you know this all too well, that sometimes Criterion is not the best thing on the block anymore. Right. You know, there's Indicator, Arrow, Severin, Vinegar Syndrome, you name it. There's, you know, Radiance. There's tons of labels. Deaf Crocodile. Lots of labels doing really, really great stuff, exposing films. You know, the joke is more film or movie go Criterion, but really just more movie go the best possible release. And so we found ourselves falling more in love with you know, the other titles that Criterion wasn't putting out, and we just didn't want to put ourselves in that box. So yeah, we did pause it for a little bit, and then we put our creative energies together. We built something that we are super proud of, that gives us basically limitless opportunities. However, we still love Criterion. If you look at our journeys, a lot of the movies that we program our Criterions, and we kind of program around those tentpole releases. Like Peeping Tom is coming out, so we had to work.
I love that this group of weirdos here considers Peeping Tom a tentpole release, like, because I do, right?
I do,
I'm sure
yeah.
you do.
It
We
is,
all
absolutely,
do.
yeah.
And everybody else is thinking like tentpole.
4K?
They're like, they're like, whatever, action movie that's coming out. But we're like 4K Peeping Tom, woo! Like that's
the movie that ended Michael Powell. Basically, we're like, yeah.
Hilariously enough, Peeping Tom is in my living room right now. The 4K release from the UK.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah. So we'll get the Criterion.
Oh man, I've actually got Peeping Tom in my living room right now.
Nope,
yeah.
it is been watched.
But
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's a topic we want to pick your brain on. Another thing that Jill and I complement each other is our tastes overlap a lot. We have a lot of the same favorite films. I mean, we were just talking today about how we showed up to the same call with the same movie and the same Zoom background, and it was Jill.
The Long Good Friday. We were recording on Good Friday, and we had the exact same scene as our backdrop, and we started laughing. We laughed for like 15 minutes. It was just like the most perfect thing ever. So that's the thing is like look, Aaron is. I'm still kind of widening my net in terms of my interests. So I'm not as well versed on international cinema. Not yet. I've already come out with this, but I've never seen a Bergman film, and this summer I'm losing my virginity. And
she's losing her virginity.
But Aaron has probably, if I could guess, he's probably not seen all of Busby Berkeley's musicals.
I've actually seen a lot of them, but you're right. There's a Venn diagram, you're a TCM. I mean, as established, she worked at TCM. She worked at Filmstruck.
Although I do not shill for them, Canopy. I am not a TCMer, and I have my issues. But in terms of classic, classic Hollywood, Frederick March is my boo. Cary Grant. So that's kind of where we complement, and we all have blind spots, and there's no shame in that. And so we're constantly learning, and this is another venue for us to do that. So on Criterion now, when we go over hey, what are the releases? And he's like, have you seen it? Nope. It's like, so he talks about that first time I come on or whatever, and how I was like, I hadn't seen a single one. And Aaron's like, what the hell have I gotten myself into?
No, you were. See, that's the thing is you, and also you're really good at talking about film just generally, and film history, whether it's in Denmark or Hollywood. So you always brought something, and you're also a great sounding board too. So if I know more about a film, I'm gonna think of Maj Zetterberg from Sweden. That's just the Rand or Bo
Zetterling, Maj Zetterling.
See? You might not have as much context there. But,
although I know Maj Zetterling's films though, so that was a bad excuse. That was a bad excuse or a bad example. Right. I mean.
See, yeah, this is what I deal with.
I know.
Correcting the name was the great way to explain this.
but I love Busby Berkeley. So
I just Jill-splained Aaron. So, anyways, so this is what you get. Subscribe to everything that we do, and this is the kind of love you get. So,
and we love film too. So we did an episode on Notorious once with Wade, a former podcast partner of yours.
Yeah,
and just digging into film with Jill is a blast. And sometimes it's, when we're focusing on the film, I think we want to do, even though it's been out a while, we want to do Todd Browning's box set on, Freaks and et cetera. And actually we have a programming a piece that we haven't announced yet, which would be a good venue for that. But yeah, so we're going to come back with Criterion now. Actually, as we're recording this, we're going to record episode 149 tomorrow. I've already made the graphic, and it is called "Someone Bought Criterion." So, And then we have our episode 150, where we'll have a special guest on. We expect it will be somebody people will know and admire, and talk about
it's going to be my mom. We're going to have my mom on the show.
Mom, yeah, she will not have seen any of the Criterion releases that have yet to be announced, But no, it does. And the thing is, we love participate. We've made a bonus video for our CineJourneys project. I think for every month that Criterion has released something. So obviously, there's still an itch there to scratch. But we also want to pay heed to a lot of the labels you cover, Ryan. So They Live is not coming out on Criterion. I wouldn't think. But risky businesses. So anyway, that was a long answer to your question.
No comment. That was the longest answer, but see, this is what you get.
Well, thanks for talking today, guys. Have a good one. No.
It's the one question interview.
First off, solidarity, Jill. I'm also a Bergen. Is that the term we're using?
A Bergen, I think so. You're a Bergen? I've never...
I'm a Bergen.
Wow.
Well, you need to join us for summer films where we will.
Well, you can let's explain how we do that. What is CineJourneys?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, Aaron, can I
please,
can I kick this off? Okay. So
I have no fucking idea what it is.
Yeah, I know he doesn't. So, okay, it's funny. We're talking about virginity, and here's the thing: when Aaron wrote this. Aaron and Jill Film Shits, and it basically was the foundation of this. And then it was like a year, and we kind of shot some ideas back and forth. We came up with a name, and then it just kind of was there in the background. But I think both of us were still kind of like ruminating on what this could be. And we really didn't kick it into high gear until last fall. And the best way... So, CineJourneys was really born out of the need, the desire to discuss film in a good environment. And in a place where... you can still have, where you have your virginity and no one is going to criticize you for it. Where everybody is coming together to discuss film because they love it. They want to be there. And it was also born out of this frustration in how discourse around film, particularly on Twitter, where it basically is reduced to name calling, lousy hot takes, gatekeeping. Oh my God, gatekeeping. Just shitting on what people like, just for it's one thing to say, oh, I don't like a movie and here's why, and then engage in some kind of good faith discussion. But then there would be some people that'd be like, why would you like that? It's stupid. You're dumb for so it's just that kind of it feels like almost everything online there's so many good things that can come out of having an online community. I have certainly made some excellent friends. Aaron is one of those. I have made so many great contacts, so many great great experiences. I've had opportunities that have, jobs that have come out of, these communities. So I can't poo-poo it too much. Right. But overall, it's a shit show. And I just got so tired of it. And I deleted my Twitter account. I deactivated it last year. I couldn't take it anymore because I had a huge following and it was hard. It was hard for me to lose that. Couldn't do it anymore. And so Aaron and I were like, well, we have to have this place where people who want to be there are coming there, and they can talk about film in a safe place. It's going to be inclusive. It's going to be like, look, we're not having Nazis. If you're a transphobe, if you're a homophobe, if you're you know, a misogynist, you're not coming in here. And so this has to be a place that we want to all be in, and that we all want to share our love. And then Aaron came up with this idea of these journeys, and he can speak more to this, but basically it's not a class. We're not instructors. It's a celebration. Yeah. All it is, you know, when I was really getting into film, what I would do is I would go through these phases, and I go, okay, I'm going to watch X amount of Gregory Peck movies. And I would go on this watch. I mean, I have seen it all. I have seen all the duds. I've seen the masterpieces and everything in between. And then as I'm watching Gregory Peck movies, I go, I really like so-and-so in this movie. And then I would follow that thread. And then I'd go, oh, this character actor. Okay, now I'm going to go watch. So I was in this kind of like discovery of where I would just follow wherever things led. And so that kind of applies to this. We are going on these little journeys on really any genre, any topic, any filmmaker, any actor. And the idea is that as we do them, they can sprout off into other journeys. Aaron and I have been leading all of them so far. I think we've done a dozen, maybe. About a dozen.
Quite a few. Since November last year,
The whole point is that we can't, nor do we want to be the only assholes up there talking all the time. So the idea is that we're bringing in people to guide these journeys. And that's really where it's exciting. And then Aaron, I'll let you speak on, because I think I've talked enough. Aaron, I'll let you speak about kind of the social aspect of it. And, but Ryan, you mentioned gatekeeping. That really is, I mean, other than making this like a safe, inclusive space, gatekeeping is such a pet peeve of ours.
Right.
There's no room for it. When someone comes to me, we always use Casablanca as an example. When someone says, "Oh, I've never seen Casablanca," to me, that is the most exciting thing I could ever hear. Because what that tells me is that person is about to experience that film for the very first time. And that is so joyful for me. And I'm instantly jealous that they're getting to have that experience, right? Yeah. And so to me, Aaron and I, it would be really boring if this was just movies we knew. So while we are picking movies that we know and we want to introduce people to, there have been plenty that either one of us have not seen. And
we
so
pick blind spots, and
so this is, and this is also, bringing people in and saying, check this out. And hey, if you hate it, that's great. If you love it, that's great. And we're going to discuss it. And then also, hey, guess what, guys? We've never seen this movie. So we're learning something, they're learning something, and ultimately it's all about the movies. And we've built this for people because we wanted to build something that did not exist. Right. And
we say that a lot. We built what we wanted to exist. What we didn't think was out there. And to add, so the Casablanca, that actually happened. Somebody in our community was a little nervous in admitting that they had not seen Casablanca, and they watched it for the first time, and they were like, "Oh wow, there's a lot of quotes I've heard in this movie before," and I wonder why. But the thing is, like with the gatekeeping thing, it's not like we're intentionally like saying don't gatekeep. I think, I mean, of course, we do have a code of conduct rules, so to speak, that we really have to gloss over. But really it's establishing a culture where you're not afraid to admit that you've never seen a Bergman, because you're not going to, people aren't going to judge you. They're going to think, oh, well, what Bergman should
well, right, because Aaron and I are sitting there and we're saying, I've never seen this before, or Aaron's saying, so right now we're saying, hey, it's okay to say I've never seen Casablanca, I've never seen, what did Bergman direct? Seven Samurai or something? No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Yeah, it was a movie about seals.
This is like there was a bunch of seals in it. There's 7 of them. I don't know, 7 seals.
Seals playing chess. I don't know. What the fuck are they
I don't know. The guy from Strange Brews in it. I mean, it's like, I don't know. So yeah, no, because Aaron's right. It's not like we're like, okay, guys, we're not going to gatekeep today. I mean, we've just made it.
It's just
what it is. And it's really going well. I think people love it.
What's great is we see people making friends with each other that have been connected through our website. So we've been in what we call a beta. We didn't call it at the time. We're throwing this out really before the website. We use a Substack to I guess bring people in. And a lot of people signed up for stuff that they did not know. And in fact, we have an episode coming out that somebody was just a listener to Criterion Now, and he's like, okay, I'll see what they're doing. And then now 7 months later, he's like, I had no idea I needed this in my life, or how additive to my life's enjoyment.
That was like,
it was high praise. Yeah.
Like like almost fell to my knees, and I didn't even know how to like answer that. Like, I just wanted to be like, I'm not like, please, we're not like you're.
Honestly, I feel the same way. I mean, it's been additive to my life. I mean, we get satisfaction over programming, watching these. And to your point about, sometimes we don't like films. So right now, I'll give you one example. We did a screwball comedy journey back in March, and we looked at some of the best classic screwball comedies directors, Lubitsch, all sorts. And then we did a sequel because everybody loved the journey, and the thing is, we always try to incorporate different eras into our discussions, so that we don't want to leave some important part of film history. But when we looked at modern screwball, so like historically, the screwball comedy kind of ended at a certain point in time, a little bit after the war, and then there were kind of some, a few, I guess you'd say, proto or post screwball. But we were trying to think of like a good modern screwball comedy, director or auteur, and really all paths led to the Coen brothers. And we had, of course, everybody's seen Big Lebowski. We actually incorporated that into noir, and that was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, we did.
Hell yeah, we did. And in fact, I'm watching it tonight. So it's that movie. That's my Casablanca with all my quotes. And I know your Treehorn gif. That's probably not PG. But the thing is, we then programmed a Coen Brothers screwball comedy, and we programmed the movies. And the thing is, they are the modern directing team that has, I think, done the best at incorporating screwball elements into other genre films. But the thing is, the ones they did this the most with are the films that are kind of like seen as lower tier or mid tier. So we looked at Hudsucker Proxy the other day, and I think that movie's prime for reevaluation, because a lot of people were like, wait a minute, this is not what I remember. And we're also looking at, like, say, Intolerable Cruelty. And then I just watched Lady Killers last night, and it's not a good movie. I
thought you were going to come out and go, you know what? The people were wrong. No. It's really great. And then I was going to have to, on Ryan's show, say, everyone, today...
You're going to co-explain me?
I was going to go, today CineJourneys closes. The experiment is over. My business partner has disappointed me. We're done.
Don't you dare gatekeep me, Jill. No, it's not. In fact, I had seen it when it came out, and I had found it entertaining and amusing. It doesn't hold up on a second watch for me. It might for others. But the thing is,
if there's anyone out there who loves Lady Killers, you
Yeah.
go. Good.
You go.
And one of our friends, he was really making a strong case for Lady Killers, and I was like,
yeah. Keep pushing that car that's out of gas. Is what I'm saying.
I admire how wrong you are, but yes.
But we've found that we can look at movies that may not have been appreciated during their time and maybe shouldn't have been, and that's okay. And again, the interesting part is in the discovery, that thirst for experience. And so what I found, the best part of The Lady Killers was I found that Tom Hanks's lead character delivers the line, "Would that it were so simple," which, if you've seen Hail Caesar, is one of the, I would say the best scene from that movie is Ralph Fiennes and Alden Ehrenreich, I think is his name, going back and forth with that line. So Leo pointing gif, I was like, because they have tons of Easter egg. And I rewatched Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? It's still amazing. Not quite a screwball. And then Intolerable Cruelty, which is, I'm interested to see how people look at that, because it's kind of a cynical look at gender and marriage. I really, for male and female, there's really no great heroic characters in it. And again, that's but it's probably closer to the screwball formula. So yeah, then we have summer films coming up, and we've actually programmed really through mid 2025. So yeah. So many ideas. So you hinted on guides. We have our own little vernacular. So CineJourneys, the people that subscribe, we call them explorers, and the people that lead, and this does not mean teach, to Jill's point, this is not a class, are called guides. And also Jill's point about us looking at other labels and seeing these brilliant people that are writing essays or doing supplements, often friends of ours. We want to highlight their great work. And in fact, we would look through releases and see which friend was doing which supplement, or who, this person's awesome, read this essay. But also, as you mentioned, people have been laid off. Sometimes it's tough to find gigs. And so we've created a platform that we haven't yet, because we've only been live for 9 days, but we will soon be onboarding other people onto the platform. And these are going to be people people that you've heard of, people that have done supplements, historians. We've even talked to, people in the industry, directors, actors, who knows. But really what we want to deliver is topics that people want to explore, because we can't sustain Jill and I just having like 30 people in looking at different genres over and over again. I don't think we can announce any names.
I think anybody would be out of their mind to not pay me $1,000 to hear me go on and on and on about Frederick March. It's just like every call would be about Frederick March. No, I'm kidding. No, we've got
that. We know that is going to happen for Jill someday.
It will happen,
we got to do Frederick March.
And it will not be $1,000, because the only person that would sign up would be my mom. And
hey.
But no, we built something we wanted to exist, and it was kind of like, not only just born out of this, oh my God, what is happening to film discussion? But Ryan, long time ago, there was a vibrant blog community. And there are still good friends of mine who have their blogs, and they have their like own kind of crew of readers and commenters, but that largely died, and the community, and I miss it. And then I was thinking about how message boards cannot be any more Web 1.0 than they are. But we were like, what if we made a message board? Is that nuts? And I don't think it is. And so, because there are still websites that have message boards, and they do really well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking of what's the DVD website?
Blu-ray.com.
Blu-ray.com or, any of those. But again, even those get into really, it gets a little toxic. And so
it's super toxic over there.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I was trying to be generous.
It's real bad.
So thank you, Ryan.
I haven't been there lately. Yeah.
I didn't want to be the asshole. So thank you. But no, it is toxic. And I know that it's toxic for everybody, but then especially the film world is really rough to women, and it's really rough on, POC. And so I don't know. I want to we both want to make this something we want to be a part of, and the people that we love, and that everybody's just sick of it. And we talked about this, the guy that we had on our last week, and how he found us because he was a Criterion Now listener. He's not on social media. He left
not
it
at all.
because
it
was killing him, and it was bad for his mental health. And the fact that he's coming onto our website and he's able to engage with people makes me so happy, because, and look, is this maybe are we going to maybe have at some point as we grow, is there going to be an asshole that shows up? Yeah, probably.
But
I mean,
I don't see it.
Well, but I'm getting at is that it's
facetious. Yeah,
I know you're being.
We will.
But it's going to happen. So I know that maybe this comes, and I'm sure there's probably someone out there that's going to listen to this and go, this is so idealistic. Believe me, yeah. There is not an idealistic bone in my body. I could not be I am the most fatalistic person ever. The glass is always half empty here. It's just so many disappointments, and I'm I'm just a realist, and this is how it goes. But I do think Aaron and I are so passionate about what we want and what we don't want that we've pretty much, and as we set this up, we're this is not happening. And so it's one of those things I would, you're going to have to kill me to you know what I mean?
I did just bring up lady killers, but that's not quite what I meant. Can I also add that we have a Facebook group for our Criterion Now, and we've had this Facebook group for, I think I started it probably 7 years ago. And it has stayed at 2,500 people for at least the last 5 years. And that's not because we're just kicking everybody out. That's because we're very, very selective about who we let in. And really, at first, we only wanted listeners. And also, we didn't want people that were not part of our culture. And I think even with that podcast, we had established a culture, a way of talking about things, a way of discourse. And I'm also the administrator for another Criterion group, which I'll just say it's improved, but it has probably 12, 13, 14,000 people. And things were not great all the time. And having that experience and being able to mitigate situations with that 14,000 person group and not have everybody leave, I think has been valuable experience for us. And I also think we should talk about another way. And I'm sorry, Ryan, we are not letting you ask any questions, so jump in whenever.
Oh my God.
Well, I know what you're about to bring up. Before you do, for a lot of people that want context on, they're hearing all this, there's a lot of positivity, and I'm going to try to be the optimist here. Most people hearing that are going to go, yeah, that sounds great. I want to be a part of that. We've not even explained what's a journey yet. What is a journey? If somebody's going to go on a journey through CineJourneys, what does that mean?
So a journey is a
good question.
It is for the ones that Jill and I run. Now it's going to depend. Now some people will probably come out. We say it's not a class. Some people are probably going to be licensed, PhDs that have taught college class, film studies, experts, historians, and they might teach classes on our platform. So for them, a journey might be a 3-month semester on, such and such era of, I don't know, Czech New Wave. I'm just throwing that out there. For us, it's just a group of films and an iteration of time, and that's broken up into another iteration of chapters. So we just covered Japanese film last month, and obviously we can't cover 100 years of Japanese film in a month. So we just did two films from the classic period, classic sound, two films from what we call the golden age, which is post-war, really the filmmakers, Kurosawa, Mizoguchi, Ozu, etc. And then two modern filmmakers, and we incorporated an anime, Satoshi Kon, in the mix. So that's a journey, and people, it's a membership, so people will get one journey with a free membership, or they can get the premium one and go to every single one. And there are those are the people that do that. They go every time. And the last Cohen's call was, I think it was the longest call, the most engaged, and the most active. But people don't have to. They will. No. Some people prefer to lurk. And in fact, I'd say maybe 30-40% of subscribers each month will just watch the recordings. We do have a user experience page, which is what I was going to get to. But it's really an app. It's a web app. It's software.
So I was going to add to Ryan, when we are coming up with the journey ideas for what we're going to do, it's like we're part programmers and part researchers. So what happens is we come up with the theme and we kind of rattle off a list of movies, and the whole idea is that we are trying to basically make double or triple features with these movies that kind of base into this sub theme. So Japanese film is a great example. But we also, we had, like, when we did Screwball, we kind of had, the way the pairings really turned out. But the one thing, we had this kind of light bulb moment over classic suspense, which is going to be this fall. And we were like, oh my God, we're gonna program Wages of Fear and Sorcerer and do them back to back. And so, am I missing something?
I just want to add, we weren't sure if those would work, and then as we thought, we both seen both films. That one's a remake of the other. It might be one of the best examples of a good remake. Sorry to the late Lady Killers. Bad remake.
Although Billy Friedkin would have never said, Hurricane Billy would have never said it was a remake. Actually, he said many times
reimagining.
It was a reimagining. But no, we had this moment. We're like, wait a minute. There's so many people that haven't seen Sorcerer because it was like in rights disputes for years and years and years. By the way, I went to the world premiere restoration of that at the Chinese in Los Angeles.
Great.
And Billy Friedkin was there, and it was fantastic. And you've seen it, right, Ryan? Or no?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So the bridge sequence, the very famous
open
bridge.
For another Blu-ray, by the way.
Man,
somebody else
was sitting there, grabbing the arms of the chair during the bridge sequence because the sound in there combined with this massive screen was sending me into an absolute anxiety spiral. It was like you were hearing every crack, every creak, it's masterful. So, and of course, Wages of Fear is fantastic. So we're like, let's do those together. So, but it's not just, so we programmed this, but I said, it's also part research. So then what Aaron and I do is that, and this is our strategy, but as we bring on other guides, they've got their own thing going. So what we do is, we get some books, we go through, we pull quotes, we get anecdotes from the filming, and we build this kind of story around the film and how it pertains to the theme. And I think that's what people, not just watching the films themselves, but the people are really interested to find out that, this, I know when we did Noir, we did Leave Her to Heaven, and I can't remember what we paired with it.
Trigger warning, Jill.
But we, on Leave Her to Heaven, I gave them all this information about Jean Tierney and the really awful stuff that was going on in her personal life and what was going on in her personal life while she was filming this movie. And there were so many eyes widening on that. So there's that. But then also with these journeys, and you'll see them on the journey pages when you register, is we are putting in all sorts of articles, podcast. So it's not just the movie that you're watching or the call that you're sitting on and we're having the discussion, but there's also all this that's going, like Discord server. We've got stuff going on with the message boards. We have all the supplemental articles, audio, video, all of that, and that's all part of kind of this package that goes with the journey. Platform, yeah. Exactly. So that's a journey.
Yeah, and for example, Japanese films, we also provide, or we try to learn for ourselves and also share with our subscribers the historical context, whether it's with film, whether it's Japanese films with post-war. We programmed a Kobayashi film that's lesser seen. Kobayashi is probably more famous for The Human Condition, Harakiri, Kwaidan. We programmed Black River, which was really the film that broke Tatsuya Nakadai, historic, great actor, one of the best, in the conversation with Mifune. But we wanted to provide the context of, say, MacArthur and the American occupation. So, like, if we just lectured you about the American occupation in Japan, that might just generally, without the film or decoupled from the film, might not be that interesting. But with this film that takes place in a American-based city and seeing them interact, I think that context really, really helped. And it's not an easy film. It's a difficult film.
Right.
So yeah, it's really it's really been. I think we have the most fun programming because like using your example with or using the example Sorcerer and Wages of Fear. When we wondered if they could go together, we just I made the Jake from State Farm joke. Just bundle them, and it really does work. We expect it will work. We'll find out in September.
There's always that dream that I think a lot of us movie nerds think about is like, God, what would I do if I could program a theater or program something for television, or end up on Svengoolie or something and program the Saturday night feature. Now, this ain't programming at a theater, okay? Whatever.
It's not the New Beverly
festival. But it is pretty cool to be able to go, I'm going to make all these people watch this movie.
J-Horror in October. I'll just say that I programmed Audition, and I am not saying sorry. People
Good.
are gonna.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie, and but yeah, if you don't mind, just the technology aspect. So that's another area in which Jill and I. Sorry, we're giving you the questions.
Oh my God, Ryan, I'm so sorry. We're terrible interviewees.
I'll just take a break. It's fine.
We podcasted for years together, but I do come from an IT background, and I do have a history of building software, and Jill is not. You're very, very technically savvy, but I know that
I don't know.
Is a time.
Y'all watched me struggle with getting my headphones and microphone, so
it's happened to all of us before.
I think it's fair to say that I'm not very technically technically advanced.
You're very, very savvy. But I know that you throw in a few acronyms, and I see those eyes glaze over.
Yeah, well, in what's the fantastic Mr. Fox and the little what is that, badger or something, in his little eyes go that's me.
That's exactly it. We should I think we will someday do a Wes Anderson journey. But the thing is, anybody can have say a Facebook group or emails, even, a film club or a film festival. What we're doing is not reinventing the wheel. So that's why we wanted to build a platform to allow this to happen. And so, Jill, regarding the technology, I can understand what can be built. And in fact, there's a lot of times I will say, okay, we're not going to build this until I have a chance to run it by Jill, because Jill, it's your vision as well. But
Or
because
I'll
of that,
come to Aaron and I'll say, "Hey, is there a possibility that we can have unicorns like coming out and shitting rainbows?" And Aaron's like, let me talk to the developers about that. No, I mean, sometimes there's ideas that I have where I'm like, how is this is this crazy? Is this possible? And Aaron will be like, yeah, we would need to do A, B, C, D, and okay, yeah, we can do it. Or hey, yeah, we got to put that off. So it's
$1 million.
Yeah, pretty much. So there are times where it's like he can. It's kind of like when we were working with our illustrator,
Caitlin
Kluwald, who has done some Criterion covers. Great friend of ours, and she basically, we were able to kind of like word salad what we were thinking, and then she was actually able to take that mess and interpret it and so Aaron's kind of the same thing. I'm like, hey Aaron, can we blah 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 blah, and he's like, well, we can do the CKG with the FEB and the AFK and the LOL and the WTF and
AFK happens a lot, actually.
Yeah,
but sometimes it's a no. Sometimes it's a no. But ask them the questions. Yeah. And to her point, I kind of have an ad hoc dev team that I work with, and I even explore things with them because we want to build the best possible experience. And so what we built is, and you'll see this especially as we start. Well, we have some announcements we're going to make throughout the month, and there's one at the end about the technology that is, we think, going to be a game changer. And Ryan, you got a sneak peek of that before the show, so I'm curious what you think. We're giving that to people, so yay. But the thing is, we've also built a social media network, and I already talked about that a little bit. But having a self-contained social media network, well, I say self-contained, people can link to their stuff that they do outside of here. So, like, for example, Ryan, I know you do like 1 million videos and podcasts and have like 86 projects going on at one time.
Yes.
So you could share that and everybody could see that. And, it's kind of an equalizer too. And I'm not a critique of you. I love as much Ryan as I can get. Disconnected is awesome. But, if somebody has the thought of they want to share their thoughts on the Lady Killers, I would love to hear a defense of the Lady Killers. I feel like it's been my punching bag. But, they could just record themselves on an iPhone or just type up a blog post and get us thinking. And there's nothing wrong with, reevaluating and listening to another opinion. So my tastes have changed from listening to people, especially this girl right here. So, anyway, now I'll shut up.
There is a lot that you're going to be able to do with that. And then one of the equalizer things that you and I have talked about before, Aaron, is that it takes away like the algorithm effect that we're hit with so much.
We've simplified it. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there are things that we just simply can't see because they're holding it back from us.
Right.
Yeah. So, and I'll be honest, we're going to apply for a patent because I talked to a patent attorney last week because I think what we built does not exist and it's specialist. So we won't show you that back end just yet. But pretty soon we will. Well,
and I hate to be this person, but like with, like yelling at a cloud, but like AI is really a problem. And so I actually just saw an article today that scientists have found AI lying about. And so like, not only is that in terms of like the algorithm, like it's suppressing certain things, whether it's, our little, fun posts or something more serious, that, like news or we live in a country where we are supposed to have free speech. So, or should be able to share information as long as it's not, discriminatory. You get what I'm saying. So, and those kinds of things are being suppressed because, whoever's behind that or training the AI or whatever is saying, all right, we gotta do this. And so, that's even more reason why, we want to be building this ourselves and be actual, humans. And I'm just sick and tired of like having all of our discussions on these platforms that are like led by really nutty people that,
Are you saying we have the option to not be human, Jill? Is that?
I know, it just seems so crazy. It seems so like, I seem very like conspiracy theorist with that, but like, I'm just tired of it. I just want to be able to like see the people I want to see, talk to the people I want to talk to. They know how to get a hold of me. I don't want to see random shit showing up or somebody like the other day, I'm on Blue Sky and I love Blue Sky. Although now that they've opened the gates, it's getting a little interesting over there. But I got my first like rando dude in my DM. Ooh. And, and I'm like, and so I skeeted, which is what we call posting in Blue Sky. I skeeted like, all right, I just got my first rando dude in my DMs. We're back, baby. Like, so there's so many great people that I want to engage with. And I'm just tired of having to go along with whatever the whim of the moment is on whatever website. I would rather have, here's the other thing is I would rather have quality discussion with, and I'm not saying we only have but I would rather have quality discussion with a smaller group of people than an absolute crapshoot on who you're going to reach on whatever, wide open platform. And I think a lot of people feel the same way, is just wanting to be able to like have good faith discussion and to not be douchey.
Mm-hmm. And fun too. We always have fun. I mentioned the tree horn gif with Lebowski. Hey, that's a pencil pad with a boner. So, and I definitely don't want to go far down the rabbit hole of AI. But as an IT, as my career as IT, I have actually worked with actual AI and developed actual AI that's not like what is in the newspapers. It achieves a specific function, and it's good. Like a bot. That's a simple way of talking about it. A bot, like a Discord bot, right. Ryan. The challenge is where like AI is trying to You can't make AI do film analysis, or you can't make AI come up with a subjective opinion. It's got to source it from somewhere. So I think AI can give you facts. AI cannot give you an experience. And so I think that's what we deliver. And we don't use AI. So there's that too.
Well, and it's just obvious that, it's the week of a big Apple announcement, and that was one of the big buzzwords was AI.
It's everywhere.
It's and it's about to be even more everywhere. There's so many things that people don't even understand where it's going to hit. And this year we've already seen our first like big film controversy with Late Night with the Devil.
Late Night with the Devil, yeah, which I won't see. I won't see that movie. But the one thing I'm seeing with AI, and it's being reported a little bit, is that it was a big boom, and this is why I didn't want to go down the rabbit hole of AI.
This is now an AI podcast.
Yes.
So about Steven Spielberg directing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Great lines, love that.
Oh yeah,
little 100%. Kid and a car that ended up looking like a Tesla, but no.
That's the saddest ending ever in any movie. FYI.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. It's pretty. If you've ever swum, backflips are supposed to be intentional, but I'm hearing that AI as a technology is kind of stagnating, is like the imitating human behavior. Like there was this big boom.
I think Aaron and I have single-handedly taken down AI with CineJourneys. I'm just saying.
We are anti the AI corporate overloads. So. No, we've just made it. We've humanized.
And the film let me just say too. I want everyone to understand: we are not owned by some venture capitalist.
Yes,
we are not partnered with some bullshit media conglomerate. This is literally it's our job. Literally, it's just the two of us. The two of us. Well, it is. Well,
with partners.
But we have people who are helping us, but Aaron and I, it is our baby. We have built it ourselves. We have not, no one is pulling the strings here. So that's the other thing. This is not like, the AV club getting bought out or whatever. And, all that. There is no,
and we're not for sale. We'll never sell.
There is no company that's backing us other than the company that we just built. So I want to make that clear to people.
And I say that I actually did sell a company once in my life. And so I know what that process is like. And it was the right decision at that time, but would never sell this. This is not why we're doing this. And we were very intentional about our logo and about the way we branded ourselves. Yes, it is a brand. And we made sure to put for cinephiles by cinephiles. And yes, that is on our logo. If you click our podcast or our videos, you'll see that. But that's also a reminder to ourselves that we don't want somebody, without belaboring a unpleasant topic, we did bring in a non-cinephile that did put this project at risk. It actually could have killed it. See, Jill laughing? That was really when we doubled down. We were like, okay, it is for cinephiles, by cinephiles, and we have lived up to that, and we will continue to. So.
We learned a very valuable lesson that really and truly to understand what we're doing. And that's not to mean that if you are not well-versed in cinema that you cannot join us, because you absolutely can. But what you have to have is a desire to want to go along with the journey. And I'm not talking about like journeys. I'm talking about the journey the journey of CineJourneys, like where we go. Like you've got to be open to
A to Z,
where we're going. And so this person, I just think it was one of those things where we thought she had like 3 heads. I think she thought we had 8 heads. It was just like not a great match. And so so that's the mantra. And I remember telling Aaron, I was like, we have to remember this mantra: for cinephiles, by cinephiles. And every time we do something, we have to remember, we have to turn to our own community. We have to get our own people in here because they are going to understand it. So, because here's the thing. And Ryan, I think this, we're weird. We're all weird. And this is in like normal people, whatever that means. They're like, what the fuck? But like, really, I mean, we're weird and wonderful. And so we want all the weird and wonderful people a part of this, right? Because I remember, and not to go too far, but I think you'll appreciate this, Ryan. And Aaron, you may know this, but I actually wrote a piece about it. And it's kind of about Jack Lemmon. But my husband this was years ago, and my husband was sitting at lunch at work and with his coworkers, and everybody's talking about what they did over the weekend and everything, and he was like, oh, well, we went and saw like a screening of Billy Wilder's Some Like It Hot, and it was like he had like just an absolute, like he had let out a wet fart. Like everyone, it was like literally record scratch. And everybody's like, what? And he's like, oh, the comedy that, with like Jack Lemmon. And they go, who? And he goes, like Tony Curtis. And they're like, huh? And he goes, Marilyn Monroe. They go, oh, the girl who, saying happy birthday, Mr. President or whatever. And Thomas is like, and he comes home and tells me this. And I'm like, what did I tell you about talking about movies with your coworkers? Like, stop. I've told you this is not normal discussion points. So, I ended up writing a whole piece about that, about how, how we take for granted, like that people know something or that people even give a shit, which also ties into why Ryan, you especially with Disconnected, like why it is so important to be talking about this stuff to keep we get these movies on disc, because more and more people, I have like friends, or like whenever like someone comes over and they don't really know me that well or whatever, and they see like the wall like this behind you, they are like equally, it's like a mixture of like it's like fear, like there's like fear there is like confusion, there's also like maybe a little bit of admiration, and then it's like it's really this mixture of like, like, wait, what? Like, you have a DVD
that's French,
player?
huh? Okay,
you know, it's just so. You know, they cannot comprehend why. And then they go off about, wow, you actually have books on your shelves. Like, it is such a foreign concept. And so that again is like another reason why I'm like, oh my God, we have to like hang on to this, and we have to preach the virtues of physical media, you know? So it's one of those things where it's preservation, and you know, like they can take it away from you if it's on streaming, but they can't come into your house and take your disc. Damn it. Come on. Let's rally the troops. We ride at dawn. You know, it's so yeah, it's like, to have us weirdos have our own place is amazing. And I'm like, honey, again, do not tell anyone at work about CineJourneys, because they are going to like call in like a welfare check on you or something. Like, don't do it. Shut up. Don't wear the shirt anywhere. Just stop. You know, don't tell anyone.
No, tell everybody. Spread the love.
I know. I but yeah, that's I don't know. We're all weird. I love it.
I'm not going to walk into an insurance company with a CineJourneys shirt. So I'm sorry, Ryan.
My only suggestion is next April 1st, I definitely want to see like a skin applied to the website, just a full day of rebranding, and across the top it has to say Aaron and Jill's movie shits, and then you got the rainbow shitting unicorns, and it's perfect for a full day, just so everybody can log in and go, what the fuck just happened?
That is actually a brilliant idea. If the business tanks after that, you will be fully to blame. But
Ryan, we have a contract to send you, But
if it succeeds and we get a bunch of signups, you'll get nothing. So thank you so much.
You know what? That sounds like the film industry, to be honest.
I know. Right. Well, if you mess this up, we kill you. But if you make us a ton of money, we may also kill you. Yeah, that's pretty much
we
how that
can
goes.
do stuff like that. Just before this call, we were talking to somebody about a shirt with a cat that shoots lasers out of its eyes. And yes, that is going to happen on CineJourneys this fall. So
coming this
kids,
fall.
Kids, get your popcorn bucket.
Yeah, I was gonna say, kids, save your money. Start mowing those lawns, selling lemonade.
On that note, I don't think it's anything more exciting we can leave on than cats with laser eyes. Is there any last call to actions we should give to everybody, other than check all the links in the description? Everything will be there for CineJourneys.
I mean,
I would say,
sign up.
Sign up, and if you see the plans page, you are going to see. Well, first off, you will see a beautiful website. I think that's the one comment we always get when people first see it is like, wow, that is better than I expected, so much better. But when you click the plans page, you will think, okay, well, one, it's going to cost me a lot of money, and two, it's going to be a major time sink, and I'm not going to have any more things to do in my life. I would, if you have any of those thoughts, join the free one. We actually have things we're about to announce for the free community. We're building a community here. It's not just about these. It's about a journey in the larger sense. It's not just about these 30 days and 6 movies things. So put your name in there. Try us out. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. But it might be for you, and it might be something that will change your life.
Yeah, and it isn't. And if you decide to join on a paid tier, which is really, I think, the best way, because we'll be honest, and this is our jobs. This is what we're doing. And it costs money to run a website. And the last I checked, it costs money to live in a house and to eat. So we would hope to make a little bit of money. But the plans are very reasonable. And for what you get with that is pretty special. So absolutely check us out, do the free membership, but we hope that you will stick around and join us at one of the other membership tiers. It's great. So if we do say so ourselves.
Just one thing. We also have another site, and we are going to push this platform once we're comfortable with it to another domain. We can't share that domain or that topic yet, but it'll be kind of a peripheral topic. And we are even talking about the art. It's going to be, what was it, rainbows shitting or something? That's going to be the art.
Not unicorns shitting rainbows, but rainbows shitting rainbows. That's it. But to clarify what you said, we're not pushing the existing site to a new domain. We are taking the bones of this site and we are making a sister site that will also be part of the same plans. So
same,
that is
general, vision.
Yes.
And also the same member benefits
that's what I meant.
Exist
yes.
on CineJourneys will apply. So if somebody does give us or subscribe to the give us $100, subscribe to the $100 tier, we call it Magic Hour because it's a film tier. That would translate to the sister site, which is pretty awesome.
It's gonna be great.
Can't wait to share it. Yes.
Can't wait to see it. First off, before we go, I really want to say a hearty congratulations. Obviously, I've been hearing a lot about this behind the scenes, and this has been a journey and a half, and to see that people can actually sign up for Journeys, I'm just so thrilled for you that you have that out in the public finally. 9 days down, and I can't imagine what it's going to look like after 90 and after the next year. So,
well, thank you for dealing with this journey we just put you through. This was a journey, let me tell you.
Yeah.
We've all had a long day. Patience, I get
it. Yeah. Thanks for your support, Ryan. And I don't mean just of us. I just mean of I think we're very much in the same mindset. And what you're doing here is just amazing. And I love your Discord. I love participating in it, and that'll continue. You will see my shitty Letterboxd reviews, but thanks for being part of the larger film community and for
it's great. We need as many positive forces in that. And am I correct that you and Celeste team up?
Quite often, yeah.
Yeah,
Shell Shock.
Yeah, Shell Shock. So Celeste is fantastic. She's a friend of the show. Love Celeste, and so I love seeing I want to see more voices. I want to see awesome voices. I want to see just people who are cool, and you are one of those people. And so thank you so much for just being, like Aaron said, just an awesome dude in that community because we need more of that. Thank you so much.
And you have an open invite to our podcast, and I promise we will let you talk.
You can ask us the questions. How about that?
I don't even know how that's going to work. All right. Looking forward to that. Everybody, again, check out CineJourneys at the links in the description below. Thanks for watching, listening, and we'll see you next time.
If you're looking for more horror outside of the mainstream, look no further than Unsung Horrors, a podcast about underseen horror movies. I'm Lance.
And I'm Erica. Every other week, we'll cover a horror movie with fewer than 1,000 views on Letterboxd. We'll even give you double feature recommendations to pair with the movies we discuss.
From gothic to shot on video, from slashers to comedies, from giallo to J-horror, we'll cover all the subgenres. So join us as we unearth these hidden gems of horror.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at Unsung Horrors, available wherever you listen to podcasts. And part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Thank you for listening to the Disconnected Podcast. There's one big thing that you could do to help the show, and that is to leave a rating and review on the podcast service of your choice. Thank you.